Happy RBE. Um, so let's see. There are a lot of updates today. I'll try to go through the most important ones pretty quick. So recently, with Enrique Duran, we've set up a new office of Bank of the Commons in Italy. Enrique Duran is probably the person that the character John Taylor of Interreflections is based off of. Enrique Duran, I've been collaborating with him for years, and so now we've created this Bank of the Commons, which is the project is to finance cooperative open source platforms, applications, to facilitate the transition. And we're doing that with this Bank of the Commons, and also it provides banking services to everybody, no ID required. So that's a big progress. Now we can start advertising that much more. The Bank of the Commons. Please join. I will add the link in the show notes. I'd like to say that if there isn't anything in the show notes, it's because I haven't got around to putting it in there yet, because I record these videos from my phone and I upload them from my phone, and then I have to add the show notes from my laptop, and sometimes it takes a few days for me to get around to do that, but I'll get around to it. So what else? Vosel, yeah, I made a decent transfer to Free World 1, as I said in the last update, and that's exciting because it's going to help him make, he's working on a movie now, Colin, and I've also helped out Nicole of the transition to help her with her health condition, because she needed economic help to pay for the treatment that she needs for a condition that she has now. So yeah, that's going to help the transition, which is very important, and it's a really spectacular project too. So what else? Smaller things. I went to Barcelona today, and as always on the way, I handed out a lot of flyers. I didn't give any speeches today in public transport. I don't know. I was feeling tired. I did present myself before handing out the flyers. I said that I'm an activist and I have important information to share, and that helped people grab the flyers, because if not, they think I'm asking for money. But I didn't give any speeches. I usually do, but I didn't today. But still, I did hand out a lot of flyers, probably probably 400 flyers, because I also went for a jog today and delivered flyers in mailboxes. And I also put a bunch of posters in bus stops and in subway carts. So I do that with double-sided tape, and it makes the posters, they look good. So hopefully they'll last quite a bit before people realize that they're not part of the subway. And what else? For the first time, I was in the how would I say, the uptown of Barcelona, Pedralbes, where all the rich people live, because that's where the U.S. Embassy is. I needed to go to renew my passport. I'm working on renewing my passport as a national to retain my rights given to us from the Creator. That's another story. Anyway, I tried to. I made a point of putting a lot of flyers and cars there, and parked cars, because it's a neighborhood that the people there, I don't know. I mean, of course, some of them use public transportation because here in Spain, everyone uses public transportation because it's very good and just efficient. But I don't know. I just thought it was a different crowd than I usually reach. And I tried to deliver flyers in apartment buildings. So how I do that is I ring an apartment, and I say I'm the postman. And in these buildings, I mean, they let me in every time, even if there was a camera. So I've never not been afraid of a camera. But I don't know why I should be, right? I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. And so, but in all these buildings, since they all have a doorman, they don't have any mailboxes. Mail goes directly to the doorman, and the doorman gives it directly to the people that live there. So that didn't really work, although I tried it multiple times. And one time, the guy asked me, well, you must be mistaken, because, he found it weird. And he's like, so what kind of mail? And then so I said, well, it's community mail. It's community information about that is interesting for networking neighbors. And so really, and that's really what it is, because what I recommend to do is to create money-free networks, free collaboration networks, which many of them are neighbor collectives. It's just ways for neighbors to share resources and help each other out. Many of them, that's what they consist in. So, yeah, and I did bump into a couple of doormen, and I gave them a flyer, but it wasn't, I could see it wasn't going to get to all the people, so I didn't give them a lot of flyers. But anyway, it was fun trying. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, I guess that's more or less it. Oh yeah, I wrote a chain message that I sent to a bunch of different groups that I'm in on phone chat. And the message was about how basically it said that if we that the more gas we burn, and the more junk we buy, and the more drugs we use, and the more hospital beds we fill, the more the GDP rises. And so the common good is enemy of monetary profit. And then I linked to, I think, Paradise or Oblivion, in Spanish. And I sent that out to a bunch of people and asked them to send them out to more people, and just, like a regular chain mail. Some of those really reach a lot of people. You never really know how many people they reach. But yeah, some of them really do get out there and go far. Anyway, remember, we will end war, terrorism, and poverty, and create a sustainable and just future simply by telling one new person every day that now everybody can live a life of luxury in a resource-based economy. Happy RBE.